Okay, I think it's same no matter what. I guess it's still same no matter what. I try to I try to add something else, but it seems to be same. It is still loading and loading and loading for the. Okay, how about now? I guess they didn't have a power to get a proper server. This should work, yeah. I think this should work. I just say it and it stops. Ah, I just say it and suddenly it stops. How about now? I think the drop frames is less than previous, so I think it still work. I hope not too big drop frames with this green thing. I guess I guess there is something that is what. Yeah. It's not a speed, but seems like connection to Twitch has some issues for this one. But yeah, I think if it is there, I can continue a bit lah. I will just finish this playthrough, maybe private to the VOD, and later I will play again sometimes. I know this is Monday. Maybe that's why. Okay, let's continue. He grumbles as if in admission of my statement. So far, we've identified three classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic fae. Warrior have strong offensive magic, scribe's magic tends to be defensive, and parasitic magic is, well, parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Black Light to detect traces of Fae magic. It can be detected through photographs if the magic is especially strong. Warrior magic glows red, scribe magic glows blue, and parasitic magic shines purple. I found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. Which one is the culprit? This is the parasitic one. We saw that a lot for this. They are of the parasitic class. What is the evidence? The death way. That is the easiest one, we can see that. How does this prove parasitic involvement? I put the dead Fae beneath the black light. This is the dead parasitic Fae. Look, it glows under the black light. Is this dead bug the one behind the murders? And I can see the purple traces. But what about this red glow? He's right. I feel like I didn't think this through. You're right. It appears I should investigate. So, what else you got? Yeah, the blood sample. The blood sample. The blood sample. How does this prove plastic involvement? I slot the blood sample beneath the black light to show the magic traces. You see, it glows under the black light. I can see the purple traces, but what about this red glow? Yeah, I missed that too, the red glow. Yeah, that's the bad ending. Let's load a bit. Sorry. Let's load a bit and see how it is. Of course, if load data is working. Okay, we can go here. Yes. Let's see again. Okay. This is the interesting thing. Because we cannot fail twice from what I see here. From the photographs, if we saw it from the photographs, it is the scribe Fae because it is the blue one. This is a scribe class. What is the evidence? The photo. Yep. How does this prove scribe involvement? I recall that there's no magic traces on the crime scene photographs, but rather on the family photographs. I set down the family photographs and hovered the black light on them in succession. Can you see this blue sigil on some of the victims' left hands? Theo's eyes widen at the sight. Yes, I can see it. Did the sigils cause these bizarre deaths? I take the moment to remember what's written in the Fae Encyclopedia. Sigils are the scribe's protective wounds. They are supposed to keep these people safe. Ah, okay. Wait a moment, it seems I was mistaken. What else you got? Yeah, the ring is purple too, but there is a red one. This is interesting. Let's see the ring. Okay, so basically we can put the evidence of the ring. Yeah, reloading is the great power. Reloading on this one. Yes. Okay, let's go back to the parasitic Fae, and the one that only purple. The one that's only purple is only the ring. Yep, glows purple under the backlight. What is this? What is this? Yeah, this is the blue one. So, this is not the correct one. Let me try again one more time. Yeah, the issue with the drop frames makes me having some issues. But yeah. Let me check a bit soon. Wait, yeah. Okay, so basically, what you can do is only this one. This is one thing that I missed. This warrior one. Yeah, remember the blood? The blood is phosphorus, but it tastes red. It is very strong red. I saw the blood sample near the black light. Glow of purple and red under the black light. The problem is the blood is fairy blood. Yep, and their blood contains traces of their own magic. This is further supported by the blood sample analysis. Fairy's blood has high content of phosphorus, just like reported. Adding to that, the missing iron. Fairies have an aversion toward iron, they don't have it in their blood. They can still, however, withstand the iron in human blood. That's why some parasitic Fae like to drink our blood. As I ramble on, Theo listens intently with a slightly surprised look on his face every time I start a new sentence. To be honest, I'm out of words at the moment. What else you got? What else? What else? What else? What else do you got? Next one is the dead Fae. How does this prove her involvement? Yep, we can see the dead parasitic Fae and it glows purple and red. I take it their bodies still glow even after their death? Correct. It takes a little while until their magic is fully dissipated from the corpse. It honestly looks like just a normal bug to me. Hold on 1 second. I turn to the shelves and pick one of the boxes containing a deceased insect from my ongoing research. I open the lid and show it to Theo. I found this one dying just yesterday. It died shortly after. Swiftly, I put it beneath the backlight. A normal one doesn't glow, you see. Theo's expression is blend of amusement and bewilderment. Quite interesting. And how does it end up here? Well, the failed transformation magic, because it is from the coin that is auctioned to the third victim. It is a parasitic fae that got warped by a coin due to transformation magic going awry. The coin in the evidence turned into this when I put it under the black light long enough, essentially revealing what it really was. So, the third victim, Mrs. Niblat. What about her? Mr. Henkel said she has her numerous coin collections displayed in all the rooms in her house. That particular coin must have been nearby when she met her fate. I can see a feeling of unease reflected in Theo's expression as he stares at me. I need a moment to digest all this. I nod and take a moment to arrange the box neatly before placing it back to the shelves. On the shelves. What else you got? The ring, I believe. The one that has the red and purple thing. Okay, yeah. You see, Mrs. Moore's ring glows purple and red under black light. But why does it glow purple as well? The transformation magic, I believe, because it is the one of the plastic one. That is because the ring is a part of transformation magic. When the parasitic fae is transformed into changeling or human look-alike, high fae magic is able to copy everything, including Mrs. Moore's wedding ring. There's sudden silence in the air as Theo's eye widens in consternation. What the hell are we dealing with here? Okay, yeah, this is one feedback to developer. Maybe the encyclopedia needs to be more readable. It's a bit harder to read that encyclopedia, honestly. He mutters in a voice that is filled with dismay. There appears to be strong evidence pointing towards warrior involvement. Based on what you've shown me, parasitic fairies are one way or another connected to this manner of killing. But you also haven't told me how the warrior fairies kill the victims. Give it to me straight. How do you figure the murders were carried out? This connects to the photo. The one that has protection, I believe. The one that has protection. So basically, wait it. So basically, they replace that. Basically, those things that is killed are not human. Because they are fairies. They are changelings. Because the blood are the fairy blood. Warriors replace victims with changelings and kill the changelings with ossification and hallucination spells. The warrior high fae use their transformation magic to turn parasitic fae into human look-alikes of the victims, which are often called changelings. Changelings? I take out the crime scene photographs with middle-aged victims and lay them out on the table. Using the magnifying glass, I show the oddity in the victim's hands to Theo. This is one of the possible anomalies that is likely to happen due to the complexity of transformation magic used in creating changelings. As famous as these ladies' families are, it would have been a big thing on the papers if they had 6 fingers from when they were children. I don't seem to remember anything like that in the newspaper, do you? No, me neither. Theo looks away, as though trying to remember all the newspaper he has read. It also explains the missing iron in the blood sample, since the corpses are not human. Yeah, I didn't notice the 6 fingers, but I noticed the what is it? The missing iron. So yeah, they are definitely not human. I wait until Theo meets my gaze again before continuing. They then murder the changelings using ossification and hallucination magic. It is done to cover up what they really did to the real humans. What they really did? Like what? It can be anything. You can abduct them to the fairy realm, or eat them, or change them into something else. The real humans might be kidnapped to the fairyland, destined to wed certain fairies and bring forth offspring. Or be employed as a slave. Or tortured for amusement until they die. I shiver at the thought of it happening to the poor ladies. Theo appears to be unsettled by the same thoughts as well. Hold on, are you saying that they might still be alive? Yes. There is chance. Yet the realm of the fairies is still an enigma, even for those who study their kind. And when you are there, it's hard to come back. The Faeologists in this university have barely met any living fairies. You're aware of how fresh this field is within academia, are you? Theo nods. It pains me to admit that I genuinely do not know how to get them back. I will keep trying nonetheless. We both fell silent, as though a heavy weight had settled in our throats, refusing to budge. We can also look at this case from another angle. The motives. Based on your investigation, what could be the rationale between the warrior fairies' actions? It's difficult to pinpoint the reason why fairies do what they do, since they don't follow humans' rules or morality. Yes, I don't recommend that too, honestly. Unless you have a good tether and also you have something there that can bring you back, better not. However, I found that, yep, this one is warrior are targeting people blessed by the scribes. I think everyone that has the blue tinge has that issue. The three middle-aged are blessed by scribe face, shown by the sigils on one of their hands. I hover the black light on top of the family photographs, one by one. Yeah, depend on the state of things. But it may be we need to be rescued too if we go there. I mentioned before that especially strong magic can be seen even through photographs. Yes, I remember. He answers while taking a black light out of my hand and checking the sigils himself. Two sigils light up on Mrs. Wooldridge's family photographs and one of Mrs. Moore's. This sigil is a sign of being blessed by one of the scribe fae, usually given when someone has done a very special boon for a scribe. It gives good fortune and is passed down through generations. As you know, the middle-aged victims and their families are old rich families that have stayed on top for many decades. That's how strong the magic is. Mrs. Moore was adopted. Why it's only her who has it? Her late biological parents hailed from a distinguished and affluent lineage. Theo paints at the face of Mrs. Wooldridge's photographs. And he is the biological father while the other two are step family. That's why the scribe's protection are there. I noted him. I'm positively sure that should we check into Mrs. Niblet's family photographs, she and her children would display the same sigils. I'll see what I can do. And it's also meant as a warning for others not to harm the marked human. I guess the wet warning didn't work in this case, didn't it? No, it didn't. Well, I suppose this does make sense, and it's a pattern. Yes, this might be targeted murders. He then casts a glance my way with an air of satisfaction around him and breaks into a smile. Good job. My, considering how rarely he gives commendations, this sounds like the compliment of a lifetime. I can feel my confidence is going through the roof. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard, honestly. to make the decision is hard, but once we get through that, we go through that. Lastly, what have you found on the poor girl, Mary Hatcher? Any connection to Paris? The chemist's report is similar to the case file. The blood is normal human blood, traces of arsenic. I didn't find any sign of fairy magic from the evidence. She mentioned that you might already be collecting purchase records from chemists all over the city. That's right. We are still investigating whether someone has a link to the girl. I see. The chemist's parents own a cosmetic company that produces the makeup powder in the evidence. She said it's popular among the upper class ladies lately, since they've gotten Mary Pickford to do the advertisements. He picks out a small notebook and pen from his trench coat and starts writing. I'm not sure if this is useful. Every scrap of information counts. I ought to note down the things we've talked about today as well. Your findings really threw me for a loop. I forgot to take notes. Of course, take your time. While Tia is writing, I tidy up my desk and put the evidence back in the box. Anything else you got? That's all I have for now. He put his notebook and pen back in his coat. He heaves a sigh so heavy, I can't believe he has the weight of the city on his shoulders. Even so, when he looks at me, there is a glint of something that wasn't there before. This fleck of illumination is all the more stark since we've started this discussion. It's hope, perhaps? A tiny, delicate thing is blooming in this room to counteract the overwhelming darkness and despair outside. I always knew you were clever, but I have to say, you've outdone yourself this time. I'm impressed. From start to finish, you were able to line the evidence perfectly with your theories, and some loading time. Everything makes perfect sense. I can't believe he's saying all this. I'm feeling like $1,000,000. Thank you, Theo. It means so much coming from you. Haven't I always told you you'd make a good detective? Yes, he has. It feels nostalgic all of a sudden. Feels like such a long time ago. That got a smirk out of him. Well, we've still got our work cut out for us. At least for now, innocent people won't get thrown in jail, thanks to you. I just need to convince the chief and the papers. Though with your findings, it sure would make it a lot easier. If anyone can pull it off, it's you. Even with that ragamuffin look, there is something about you that makes people listen to you and trust you. Well now, you did fall for this ragamuffin. And how do you know it wasn't your constant brush with anger that threw me in? Ah, I know. I'm short of a comeback for once. He knows just how to catch me off guard. All of a sudden, the playful glint in his eyes disappears, replaced by a serious stare. Listen, I might have to bring up your name in my report. I cannot predict how the papers will handle this, but it's possible they will mention you and Faeology. This is good for your field, of course, but it could throw unwanted dangerous attention your way. I'll be fine, Dio. I can protect myself. This is what the field needs. Indeed, you're more than capable of taking care of yourself. I know that very well. I do appreciate you worrying over me. Theo's concern seemed to fade, and he lets out a sigh of relief. Well, this day's certainly been alright. He glances at his wristwatch. I've still got time until I have to get back to the station. The connection is working normally now. What happened with Twitch? Please. No, it's okay. No drop frames anymore. It's okay. I will work for this. I hope tomorrow it is better. Let's see. Fancy a drink with me? You can tell me more about fairies. I will listen with way less judgment this time. Obviously, yes. Just like I promised. Sure. Would you mind waiting until I finish grading a few assignments? Yep, we should be grading those. It will take 10 minutes at most. Go ahead. I focus my attention on the assignments. There is a minute of companionable silence. The scribbling of my pen is the only noise audible. Theo then speaks. You know what we should toast to when we drink? What? We should toast to being a good team. We are a team, aren't we? Aren't we? Or at least we should be. Your knowledge of fairies is exactly what we need to make sense of all this mess. And it's not just that. Your talent for investigation is as impressive as this gun. If you act as a consultant in a high-profile case like this, you would be handsomely compensated, of course. Imagine what those funds could do for your phaeological research. Phaeological research. So, what do you think? Would you ever consider joining the investigation in official capacity? I'll consider it. The CG. Ending 1, Detective 2. It's another afternoon in the office. My patron has stopped by to discuss a research project that I've been considering. Now that biology may get increased credibility, especially with police, I think we should examine the prevalence of strange deaths caused by fairies. Don't you think, Mr. Henkel? The police might agree to help us collect the data. I'm not so sure about that. It would take time for the police to trust us to that extent. Besides, wouldn't it be more pressing to focus your research on warrior face? We have to talk. What the? Why? Why are you bashing the door like that? Before I can respond, the individual suddenly barged into my office. Sorry, I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. Even though I've told him you're in a meeting right now. That's okay, Minnie. You can let me handle this. If you say so, Professor. Minnie grumbles at Theo as she walks out. What's eating you, Theo? Theo doesn't so much as glance at Mr. Henkel. He unfolds a rolled up newspaper from the inner pocket of his coat. He hands it to me. Oh. Oh no. Then still death. At a glance, I can see the phrases fairies are real, evil is afoot, and fairies killing humans spelled out in bold, oversized letters. As I begin reading, my patron peers over my shoulder to read as well. It is not the chief statement that made the front page. It is another bizarre murder, and this time, the victim is a beloved celebrity. She danced until her body gave out. They wrote out all the excessively grisly details connected to her death. Moreover, the reports surrounding the other homicides have been thoroughly sensationalized and exaggerated. They have depicted fairies as evil enemies of mankind, and in some parts, they even insinuate that war between beings is brewing. Reading all of this makes my heart sink and my stomach churn. I need to put the paper down for a moment. This is truly awful. I've already checked the crime scene. The details of this latest incident look similar to what we've uncovered from the previous murders. Given everything, I would say Fairy is definitely in the picture here. Though it's still hard to make head or tails of all this. It's very difficult to grasp their motives, but judging by the methods and the frequency, I have to say this is significant. Something big might be going on in the land of fairies. As the conversation unfolds, Mr. Henkel appears to be deeply in thought. I need you to check something really quick. Theo gives me a photograph of the celebrity. Knowing exactly what he wants, I retrieve the blacklight from my drawer and examine the photograph closely. Both Theo and Mr. Henkel peek over my shoulder to see. A sigil, the same one as the other 3 victims had. I suppose we can now establish that these are targeted murders. I nod of him. For some reason, Mr. Henkel is nodding with me. Although the 4th victim, Mary Hatcher, doesn't have the sigil, does she? Did you find anything more about it? Theo shakes his head, leaving behind a troubled look. Nobody in the purchase records has a strong link to the girl. We're asking around here and there. The girl was the same. Everybody loves her. Her squabble with Mrs. Niblat is the strongest lead we have. A striking realization dawns upon me. What if Fairy transformed into human and purchased the poison? What? They can do that? Suddenly, Mr. Henkel's familiar voice fills the room after his long stretch of silence. Oh yes, detective. Although when a fairy shifts into human shape, they cannot assume the identity of someone already living. Your culprit may well be a name on the list, but one that doesn't truly exist. I give a nod in agreement with his words, feeling slightly proud that my patron is reading all the knowledge this university has to offer. That is interesting. Theo flinches at Mr. Henkel's input, clearly having dismissed him as a part of the furniture. He then scoffs. Theo? All I get from Theo is a shrug. Surprisingly, he turns toward the patron. From what I've come to understand, fairy magic is more than capable of doing the killing. They have no need for poison. But I won't discard the possibility. Mr. Henkel only replies with a smile. Well, that's certainly a rare occurrence. Theo goes back to ignoring Mr. Henkel and talks directly to me. I should mention that I've gotten permission for you to check the crime scene. Come with me tomorrow? I will see what I can do. Alright, I've got to go. I'm leaving the newspaper here. There are more articles about Faeology that you should read. Without so much as a word of goodbye to Mr. Henkel, Theo turns and leaves. I pick up the paper again and continue reading, while Mr. Henkel silently reads alongside me. The field of Faeology is indeed mentioned word-markedly, but its loyalty to humankind is under scrutiny. Although the police chief spoke of our help, the papers continue to raise doubts about our involvement in these killings. Is the Faeology of the University a friend or a foe? And credits. Literature artist Marshmallow, writing IC, Lulucat, then initial concept. Narrative designer, programming. This is so good. This is so good. Music, Dark Piano, Dopa Syndrome. Yeah, I heard Dopa Syndrome. And Vivek Abhishek. Logo font. Special thanks, Quality Mystic for feedback, and everyone. And you, dearest player, thank you for playing. Thank you for making this game. Return. So yeah, that is that in Theology. I think I know how to do this better later on. I can see the issue. I can see the issue. So later on I will tune something else about this. But yeah, I'm sorry for the scuff and the stuttering on the video. I hope it works better next time we stream. I like this game. It has a lot of potential. It still needs to be polished a lot, especially on the investigation part. And I need to write down a lot of details, but it's good. Thank you all for joining me in here, and as always, good morning, afternoon, evening, and see you all later on my next stream. I will need to check something else in here because seems like a lot of things are having issue. Thank you all, and bye bye. Let me try to stop the stream and see things later. Bye bye.